Hello everyone, this is Kit Kaksha, and this is the seventh episode of Kaksha Gupshup. And today we have with us Mr. Najis Umar, who is 2016 pass out from Kit. So, hello Bhaiya,
Hi,
and
hi Abhinav.
so Bhaiya works in Walmart Labs India, and he is at the position of Software Engineer 3. So, Bhaiya, let's start with your some introduction. Can you tell
Yeah,
something about your college life?
yeah. So hello everyone. So thank you Abhinav for giving me a chance to connect back to KTM's.
It's our
I mean
pleasure to
I've
hear
been
you.
quite a long time. Like I have been as like apart from my friends, like there were few juniors whom I spoke to, and so thank you for this opportunity. So so as Abhinav introduced me, so I'm actually working in Walmart. So it's been like 4 years I have been passed out from Pitt University. So I was enrolled into 2012 batch. So I joined uh, in the CSE branch. So actually at that point of time we didn't had all this branch like specialization branch which we can see now. For example, we have this. I think Abhinav can tell better. Like 2 3 extra branches we have like machine learning. Sorry, like PS and
System engineering and communication
engineering and
engineering
communication
along
and
with
all those.
computer science.
So good to hear all this. So at that point of time, like when I joined in 2012, we had this core CSE branch, and so I had a decent rank in KIT. So I joined. I took CSE, but unfortunately, like at that point of time during the counseling, I was thinking about taking ETC branch, maybe mechanical branch, because since I am from Jamshedpur, Tata Steel, this is a city of it's called a steel city. So I was thinking that I would take mechanical and I would enroll here and maybe take a job here. Means I was not thinking so much far. So in 2012, but at the day of counseling, I researched and I took CSE. So like starting with my college life, like I would say that I was a bit studious, like until 12th, even like when I joined KIT, and as you can see my uh, profile, LinkedIn, you can see my profile. So I had already dropped in it, for 1 year. After doing my 12th, I had dropped for 1 year, and uh, so I was preparing for a lot of colleges. So I was not aiming for IITs. I thought that NIT would be sufficient. There were some other reasons also, so I don't want to say it here personally. So so actually after that, unfortunately couldn't make it. Rank was worse than what was in the earlier year. Though I think I worked pretty hard, but still I had to join KIT, and I made a very worst decision that I just gave 2 3, I think 3 4 only, 2 3 or 3 4. I don't remember by this time that I just gave uh, these competitive exams. So I cleared KIT, and after that, I was happy. Means at least getting CS in KIT. So if you can start my journey like uh, since 2012, I would say that I was pretty much studious. So first whole year I studied. I had a CGPA of over above 8. I used to attend classes. I used to means attend lectures. I was like a pretty decent guy, like who was dreaming. But suddenly, after first year, I got. I mean, I became very stagnant. I think I left it, like let it be what is happening. So for next 2 years, you can say in my college life was not so good because just like everyone uh, recognizes the environment, and there are very few people study, and I've wasted a lot of time actually, honestly, if I have to say. So but I the next 2 years, like CGPA went down. CGPA was not good at all, and I used to bunk classes barely because say like I would say that some of the subjects I was not at all interested, but I had to maintain attendance. So uh, I used to attend, had few backlogs also. So you guys are exposing me to. I honestly speaking, and I had good amount of backlogs in third sem, but I thank God I cleared them next year only. So I mean, in fifth, by before starting fifth sem, I cleared everything. So that was a point of mistake in my life, but I believe that I knew myself that I had confidence that I would do. So good part is like
Hmm.
I woke up before placements, and like I was placed in Ericsson. So over 4 years was like bit up and down, ups and downs. I would say more downs than ups. Ups was like first year was very good, fourth year was very good, getting placed, and that too like my batchmates they were two of the people I remember they said "Tera kya hoga?" Like I don't know like I'm blessed that I was studying in KIT and somehow got offered in. I mean somehow at some point of time I woke up and so was I would say bit of up and downs, but more downs than ups. But still, I would say that I managed myself. So this was my journey. I had just a CGP of over 7. Okay, so you can imagine from 8 being a 8 pointer in first year to just barely being a 7. So I don't do all this. So this is my advice to you youngsters. But still, I would say that uh, there's a lot of time which you get when you are a student, and there's a and thing is that you don't know what you have to do. So at that point of time we didn't had all this phase of code like craziness of coding and all like we didn't had so many platforms also. I mean
Okay.
gigs of week was there and so yeah.
Okay, okay. So in the field of Java, what are the careers possible careers apart from, Android development? Like you have a really good experience with Java backend development, so elaborate on that.
So there's a very good scope good amount of scope in Java. I would say that Java is something which is irreplaceable as far as yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of this is an era of web development and though this nowadays people are doing there's a lot of in front end we have this JavaScript and so on this on top of that a lot of frameworks are built like React and Angular but you may know what tomorrow comes up. Okay, in market like things come and go, you may never realize also you will learn one thing it, something better will come. But Java is something which is I feel that it is irreplaceable. There's a lot of desktop applications, there's a lot of standalone applications which are built on Java. Almost I have to say that I mean like almost 70 to 80% I would say that IT companies would be having some scope of Java, some or the other. Okay, so I was lucky to get projects in Java, and I mean that gave me a very good basic prospectus on like going forward. I mean I didn't do coding not because first of all I was not that much interested, but because I didn't like C honestly I speaking. But I when I learned Java, I thought that and that too like the scope of object orientation programming, it's like you are doing real world programming. So I thought that why didn't I learn this first year? Like every fresh I bought a let us see book and after that I left that. But and data structure, doing coding in data structure on Java is like a lot of you enjoy a lot, and that too if I have to see a lot of material is available on Java. In terms of you will not get such kind of material on Python, and maybe there are good coders who are doing it. I salute them, but JavaScript you can see that the like people struggle, like they have to get code on Java and then they
yeah,
have
yeah,
to write on JavaScript. So there's a lot of scope, industrial perspective is a lot of scope in my company. If I have to say, I had a meeting with my manager and they informed us that we have a lot of Java developers, 65 to 70%, I would say. So we have a lot of scope. I mean, backend, most of the companies, they are working on Java only. And what I see is that on some aspect, maybe someone may be going with Python, some aspect, one may going with Node.js if it's a web application, but Java is irreplaceable. I mean, Spring Boot, there's a lot of good frameworks, standalone frameworks with embedded Tomcat server, Tomcat server. So a lot of features are there. So day by day, you have, uh, I mean, nowadays we don't even use servlet also. So day by day, you have, the industry of Java from Java 8 to Java 11, we are going. So I see a lot of potential, and I mean, I believe that instead of starting with C, one can also start with Java. So industry-wise scope, there's a lot of scope. Be rest assured with that.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So I have also seen that you have done Oracle Associate Software for Java certification you have done. So in that regards, you would like to say that is that necessary for to like in is that a mandatory for some job roles or is
Actually,
that learning Java on the self?
So I believe that you are in third year, right? So I
Yeah,
mean,
in third year.
so questions like this coming with a third year guy is okay. I mean, I can understand your excitement. I mean, you want to understand the way the IT functions, but I have to say frankly that uh, it is not the certification which matter; it is the skills which matter. Okay, certifications is like just a stamp on what you have learned, but what you have learned is that matters. Okay, there are a lot of I believe lot of even LinkedIn there you can get a lot of free certification, but what matters is that you have knowledge or not. So in my case, I have to say that when so I'm first telling about my placement, and then I will telling you in the what you have asked about the Oracle certification associate programmer. So when I was preparing for my placements, I didn't put any certification. I didn't do any certification. Frankly, I'm speaking. But I had done a lot of courses on Java and everything by that time. So and this certification which you are talking about, Oracle certified, I did in the month of September 2017 or October 2017. I don't remember. I think September 2017 I did. So that was because I completed 1 year in Ericsson, and we have this key KPI. KPI is like a parameter, like based on just based on your performance and all. So two, three things, mandatory things we have to do apart from our work. So so we have to do some external trainings also, and those money would be like getting refunded from outside. So I did this certification on Java, so because of that, I did, frankly speaking. I mean, I was already working on Java, but to the outside world, yeah, I mean, when you write in resume, it carries a value. So, and there's a at that point of time, I don't know about now, but at that point of time, there was one more certification on top. This was one, and that was second. This is associate programmer, and that was, I think, I mean, on top of that, you have to do one more certification, then you are certified Java programmer, something like that. I don't know what is the criteria now. So at that point of time,
Is
I
it
did,
good?
yeah.
One
So
CMS.
yeah, so
Okay.
after that, I have not done any certification. Most of the internal certification were like we were made to do like ITIL and Scrum training and all the certifications. So this were told us, this were like suggested to us by the company, and so this has some like if you write on your resume that I have done certification, whether you are fresher or you are experienced, you have to face questions. Okay, I mean that's just a stamp like Java. Okay, it's not that every lot of people do certification, a lot of people do internship, but the matter question is that what do they know. So I believe certification is important, but knowing more than that is like it's more important. Maybe someone will look at your resume and say okay, he's Oracle certified programmer, but he will ask questions based on that. And now in my current company, like certification doesn't have any value. They have given us free access to LinkedIn Learning and Udemy and this one O'Reilly, and they want us to uh, leverage our skills. So like I have uh, done trainings on full stack development, my like MERN development and MERN full stack developer. So like I'm now writing some codes on React and participating in some contests and all, and doing extra projects. Who is certified and one is not certified. So obviously one will look at the certified person. But if someone writes that I have a very deep skill in Java, even though he's not certified, he may get like the same level of chance. It's not that every time your certification is a role. Yeah.
Okay, so have you done any internship during your college time?
So I have not done any internship. I have not done any certification. To be frank, I have not done. My first internship was actually Uh, my father worked at Tata Steel, so he arranged an internship for me in the final year. But I knew that I don't want to. I knew that time that I had to study. I had to wake up. So if what I could remember, it was we finished our semesters in the month of April 2015, and so I stayed back in Kit. It was very hot, and there was earthquake also at that time. At point of time, yeah, I remember in 2015. So I stayed there for 2 months. I just was studying Java and technical, and leverage my technical areas. So I didn't do any internship. So my first internship was in 2016 when I got an offer from KIT, sorry, Ericsson, and we were made to we were asked to like I was asked to come for internship. So my brother was living in Bangalore, so I chose that location, and that was my first internship in life. So I didn't do any internship.
Okay.
So we did internship from February 2016 to I think June, no May, yeah, May 2016. Yes.
So while you were in the job, like in the internship at the Ericsson, so were you preparing for like other interviews also for at that time?
Yeah. So in Ericsson, actually, I was so I would say I started with QA, and for 6 months I told them I want to do development, else I don't want to do anything. So after that I was like I got good opportunities on Java, and I went to on sites on in Iran and Jordan. So after that, the team I was in, like mm, some kind of work which was given to me was I mean demonstrating the behavior of a code. I think how how much capability it has to tackle the like lot of requests, multi-threaded requests, and lot of requests which were coming per second. So I did that, but still they gave same kind of project. So at that point of time, I made my mind that I have to move on. So obviously that when you are nearing to 3 years experience, and you start thinking about change, and obviously everyone wants money also. Everyone wants to double their package. So I thought that now is the time that I should start preparing. And frankly speaking, you guys, like uh, 2 years before, you will not get so much of call. So I started getting call once I updated my Naukri profile. I started getting a lot of calls. So I thought that it's time that I should move on and try in some other companies. So that was the point of time where I decided. I think first interview I gave was in Cisco in January 2019. Yes.
So now the question which many freshers have right now is that when you are placed in some company, like if the company is not that big, or if you are in an internship, so at that time, like should they be joining that internship or any small company, or should they prepare for any bigger company? So the fact which we get to hear from question which is now in every professor's mind is that they should be joining an internship in the third year of the college itself, and try to get a PPO in that company, or they should just wait for any big company to come and prepare the rest the whole time for those companies. So what should be one doing in such
So
circumstance?
my question to you is that like what kind of internship? External internship, or you are saying that
No, no.
a company visits and it gives you
Yeah,
an
yeah,
internship?
the campus internships which you get from the college
So
campus.
I believe that every opportunity you have to grab, and that is what I have learned in my life. If I would have gone by what I decided, then I would have ended up being nowhere. I mean, so I think you have to trust what you are getting, and you have to be confident at yourself. So I believe what I believe is that since now you guys are in third year, so you are saying that when you would be going for fourth year, in that time between you have 2 months, are you talking about that tenure, or like some company comes when you're starting 4 years, fourth year, you're starting fourth year, and some company comes and gives you an internship offer? So there's a lot of difference between the two. So
Mhm.
what I am saying is that when you are going to fourth year, okay, like there's a gap between when you finish 2 years, your second year, right? And you have 2 months time, and then before you after that you go to third year, right? So in that time you can do an external internship, okay? Just get some, just get exposed to what is happening in the industry, and pay all your attention in 3 years, whether it is coding also, or whether it is the basic subjects which you would be preparing for placements like networking, operating system, uh, maybe DBMS, and one coding language Java. And when you are going for fourth year, these 2 months which you have in between, like ending your third year and going for fourth year. So I believe that at this point of time, in this 2 months, you should fully concentrate on your, because we have some many companies, they have this group discussion. Many companies, they have this. this rounds like you have to give questions. I think this numerical questions, right? So I forgot the term. I mean, so you have to prepare like on questions on a lot of topics on maths, and I so there's two three sites which we used to. If I forgot all of that I
Yeah,
forgot. So,
aptitude based questions, I mean.
aptitude. Sorry, this was the term, aptitude. So you have to be, prepared in aptitude. So what I saw that from my experience, there were a lot of good CGPA holders, but they were not able to clear in my time. Even they were good coders also. Okay, so they were not able to clear the first round only, the aptitude. So I believe that that is a time when you should focus solely on your interview basis, and you can at that point of time you can also take if you have not taken any certification, you can take like courses or certification also. Many people were doing Java courses, so that was also good. But that point of time I believe that no one should do internship. That is my thinking. I'm not imposing it on anyone, but because it may, because you may be given a lot of work, and might be your preparation might not be good for interviews, because after you just climb to fourth year, company starts approaching in the campuses. And Deloitte is the first company. There's a lot of hype, and when you are not able to clear your first round only in terms of aptitude, you get disheartened. After that, you have G group discussion. So, I believe that. So this is regarding the external like what you opportunities, either through your friend or your father where he's working, or some kind of you have some connection who is working in some IT company where you try some external internship, right? Even they are not paying you, but you want to do. So, and coming to your main question, that what about getting the internship through companies? I believe that you should, when you're getting at that point of time, we also had some restriction that you have to appear in one company. Then, like, we were placed in day zero companies. Ericsson was day zero. So after that, we were not allowed to sit in some other companies. Okay, and so like like mass recruiter companies, we are not allowed to sit in. So I believe you should grab an opportunity when you are get. Don't think about. Uh, uh, I mean, you have to look at the profile. I'm not saying you don't have to look at the profile, but ultimately, when you are sitting in the placement, you have to research, and what kind of company it is, what kind of roles I can get. When you're sitting for placement, when you are getting giving all this round, so you have to see all that. And finally, when you are getting an offer, I think you should take that, because even after if you take like one company like HP, Amazon, all these companies give you internship. Okay, even Deloitte gives you. So by that time, when you go for internship, even if in KIT you are not they place a restriction now that you are having good package and you can't sit in other companies unless like it is 10 lakh or something. So you can try that, but if even if you're not allowed, also I believe that you should go for the internship and just see that how where you are, and like you get a lot of exposure and stuff to learn. And might be that you are doing very well, and you may get some other offers also. So you can leave. Many people I know that they went for internship and they got very good offers from off campus, through off campus. So don't miss an internship. If you're getting from a company, take that. At the same time, if you are able to start your internship once you finish your second year, do that. So that is my advice. Yeah.
Okay, then now I want to ask that if you are in a company, and when you, like you were telling, you were in Ericsson and then you were preparing for other companies, then how do you do that time management? Like in the whole time you have to uh, do the development work. Then for other companies you will still have to practice the DSA and the coding stuff. So how do you manage that time, like being in some internship or in any
So for time management, I believe that first and foremost thing is that you have to. One good habit I have, that I wake up very early. So I wake up at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, and sometime even at 5:30 o'clock. Uh, so when I was very much confirmed that I have to switch, then I used to wake up at I made a routine that I'll start my studies uh, by 8 o'clock. So uh, I mean, you get 1 hour. We used to start. I used to live nearby office, so I used to start my office preparation by 9 o'clock, like breakfast and everything. So first is like you have to manage time. Okay, in the morning I can give 1 hour. In the night I can give 2 hours. So you have to make some sacrifices. Then weekends I used to utilize a lot. So if something, so I used to plan a lot. I'm like good at like planning. I used to do a lot of planning. So by this month, I have to complete this. So if something goes here and there, so I used to adjust all those things in weekends. So time management is all about like, I mean, someone can give 5 hours, someone can give 2 hours, but you have to stick what you have to do in those 2 or 5 hours. So you have to, I mean, adjust things and compensate in terms of. So I used to do that. So 2 hours study in evening and 1 hour study in the morning, and fully I used to study in the weekends. So this continued for 8 to 9 months. Also.
Okay, so that was a great insight to your timetable. So next, if you could just tell us, like, if someone is in a company where he is getting a six-figure package, and if he
Mhm.
wants to earn more and to get to that seven-figure package, then what are the things, like, if you could just tell it in points, like these things should be necessary for him, like these are the standards which are set up. So if he achieves them, then in the field of software development, like in the position of a software developer, he can achieve that mark. He can
So,
get into
so you have to first of all, before 2 years you will not get much calls, as I said like earlier. So after 2 years you will start getting, and between these 2 to 6 years is a good time to, uh, I mean, not only upgrade your skills but try to increase your package as much as you can. Honestly, I'm saying a lot
okay.
of people they are doing openly they are doing, and I don't mind it saying it openly, okay, because after 6 years you will very difficult you'll get calls. It's very difficult to you because you may be in a senior software position role. I mean, and compared to the level like senior software or lead, if you are lead, then you have to handle 3 4 engineers with you, and then you go beyond that. When you become architect, that too also you should have very strong profile. So what I say that like once you are like beyond 2 years, suppose if you have got into a company with a 6 digit package and you want to move to 7 digit, so start working on data structures and algorithms. Start and with not only data, whether you are in any role, like if you are a DevOps engineer, data engineer, or any role, like you can be fundamentally strong in that particular role. You can first of all you should also know how to make stories. What projects you are working on. Technically, you should be able. You should like in coding practice we say that we iterate a lot, and the loop has to run once. So you start giving a lot of interviews. Once you are over 2 years, give a lot of interviews. Maybe you have secured a package, then also don't leave that. Maybe in some other companies you can negotiate, showing that already you have an offer. So you can do that. So so the but the basic thing is like you have to I mean, you have to be confident, and you have to be, you know, you have to be very much prepared when you're moving. Want to like if some company asks why should we give you that much amount of package, you should have a good reason. Okay, you have to say that okay, it is not that it is as much as I need you, you also need me. You have to prove yourself with your skills, with your
Okay.
confidence. So study hard, concentrate on basics. This is my suggestion. Is practice a lot of data structures if you're from uh, if you're a developer, and for other stuff, you should know very deep in.
Okay, so for the placements, so like you were discussing about system design and stuff. So for placements also, should a student be preparing all these things?
No. I believe system designing and all actually is in our level, like 3 plus. One should know what they are designing because like Walmart, they are skill like a lot of users are there, right? 20 we I think 26 crore, 260 million users per week. I mean, they somehow they shop on the Walmart server, like website. So there's a lot of importance given to scalability because you know that what happened in Big Billion Day, right? So something
Yes.
shouldn't something shouldn't go down, whether it's a single point of application or so nowadays we are going from I mean microservice. So these all are very jargons, and I believe for you is like concentrate on, like if you want to be a good developer, then concentrate on your coding, and be at the same time start learning your whatever you are interested in. Take small projects, and uh, I mean there's a lot of freelancing also going on. Do that. Okay. So I really upgrade your skill. Don't think about system designing and all. that is a later part. But you can do that. I mean, I think we have one subject we had object-oriented design principle. I think. Yes. So if you are interested in object-oriented programming, you can learn that, and you should know how to write a basic object-oriented structure programs. This is all I suggest. A
Okay.
high-level design is not, I think, required. But you should know. If they are teaching you, it's fine. But if you doesn't know, not an issue. Concentrate on
Okay.
code.
Yeah, so okay, now this will be the last question and then we'll conclude. So, as you have told that you just had barely above 7 CGPA. So, considering that, what do you suggest that what is the importance of the like college syllabus, college curriculum in getting placed and working as a developer? Like,
I
what
think
are the
I
subjects which are important?
I
How
I
much?
would say that syllabus are important. It's not that they are not. First of all, you have to CGPA is a product of your syllabus only. You have to, but there are good subjects like what I am according to me, like DSA and DBMS and even networking and object-oriented design. There was one software engineering, I think also. Data mining was also for those stuff, those people who would be concentrating on data and all. So I think they teach you, they prepare you for a large prospectus of world. It's not that you would be working on everything, but you should know to make flow charts, and because in industrial prospects, you should know all these things. Even coding, there are labs going on. I mean, we have these grades on labs, right? So, uh, like even in data structure labs also we had. So you have to this plays a part. I'm not saying this doesn't play. I didn't like subjects like electronic based subjects. I didn't like. I didn't know why they were there also. But sometimes you have to, like for the sake of making more grade, you have to attend that. But it plays a part. I mean, you have to like just finishing in one sentence. I would say that networking, OS, DSA, as well as software engineering or object-oriented design. To either of these four subjects, I believe, is sufficient. First, a person should know the basics of this appearing before an interview. So this plays a part. It's not that it doesn't play a part.
Okay, so then we'll be concluding this interview. So it was a great time talking with you, Mr. Naziz Umar. So at last, we'll like to do a small skit. So if you could just say like, share, and subscribe to Kit Kaksha.
Pardon? If you would like to.
If you could just say to like, share, and subscribe our
Okay.
channel, Kit Kaksha.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. I will do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Abhinav. It was nice talking to you. I mean, I felt sorry, like two of your colleagues. I think Himanshu is there. He's listening, but I don't know. So it was nice interacting with you. I mean, so just do well, at this unprecedented times, just be confident and concentrate on your basics, and take every subject as, seriously, and try to score marks at the same time, what you want to do. I mean, from now, seeing at this time, your goal should be, getting placed in good company. I mean, as much as what you can learn. So just chill and do it. This is all my advice to everyone. Hope so that
No,
each of the KTN will rock. So let's rock.